Yo, what's up, degenerates? It's your boy Hodlnomics, aka Crypto Sancho, in the house. And oh my gosh, we had an absolutely insane day today for PDI and Atropa. All the things, we're gonna get into it. And welcome to the PulseChain dark web.
Welcome to the party. This a moon party. Hey, this a moon party. Hey, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party. This a moon party. This a moon party. Welcome to the party, we don't play round here. Moon suit on or you get sprayed round here. Watch where you walking, you get ate out here. Wolves and them sharks like a buffet out here. Whole blue crew and we gon' rage out here. Boats in the sky, we gon' sail round here. We ain't never coming back, way out the atmosphere. Moon suit on, we gon' blast off here. You ain't get a bag, that's your damn fault, dear. When that rocket ship blasts, watch the whole sky clear. And you stuck on the ground, probably all in tears. You ain't moved no money, cause you all in fear. Moon dance with me.
Yeah, moon dance with me. Everybody, welcome. Yes, everybody, to the PulseChain dark web. Shout out to that video from XRP Bags. Love to play that when we pump. And anyways, guys, yes, if you have found my channel, welcome. Thank you. This is the PulseChain dark web. We don't talk about 555 staking. We don't talk about Avalanche. We don't talk about Bitcoin here. We talk about the craziest, deepest, darkest crypto conspiracies that might get you in trouble if you dig too deep over here. And we are all into PulseChain and PDI. Oh my gosh, if you don't know about the PDI conspiracy, I'll have to make a whole other video about it. Just, you need to catch up on that. Just go search PDI on Twitter. This isn't the video about that. We're deep in the weeds here, but I highly suggest for you to get into it. There's some absolutely crazy stuff going on PulseChain. It's really all you need to know. Long story short, they're taking this, basically this coin that started at zero, and the theory is they're trying to make it a legitimate stable coin. So and today we had a big day. We're going to get into all the happenings, the things that happened, why it was a big day. But I also, at the end, I think the most important thing that I want to convey to you guys in this video is what exactly I think is going on with all of this. And I'm going to actually do that through a video from Surfacing. So stay to the end, or you can fast forward to the end, whatever you want to do. But that is, you know, everybody's seen the Twitter beef and all that stuff. That's kind of what I'm going to go over here at the beginning, kind of what happened. But a lot of people, I think, missed the Surfacing stuff. And Surfacing is really in tune with Atropa. And we had with Maria and what's going on. Like, he's always in the chat with them. And he's the dev of the NBA token on PulseChain, like the NBA TM Atropa version NBA token. And he was in a spaces with us about a week ago. And I was actually really just impressed with how much he knew and kind of how dedicated he was to the ecosystem. And he's been like there quite a bit chatting with Maria in these IRC chats, and he has a really good handle on really all of this, and it's super duper bullish. So stick to the end, all right? And I'm basically going to replay the recording that we had with him in spaces, and I'm just going to basically let him tell you guys. But up until then, what the heck happened today? So Richart did another stablecoin tweet, and of course, every time he does this, PulseChain just goes absolutely nuts. And so we had this one today. If you got DAI, USDC, and USDT to have their stablecoins directly on PulseChain, as they do on other networks, it would increase security and reduce costs. PulseChain is nearly the most decentralized and secure L1 in the world. PulseChain has operated flawlessly since launch nearly a year ago now. Perhaps ask them nicely. You are the network. The future is as good as you make it. So anyways, what does that mean? What is going on? There's like a lot, right? And so, you know, of course, you had all the haters. The haters are like, oh, this means that P-Dye is dead and he wants these tokens to come, which, hey, maybe, right? I don't think any of us are saying that this is like factually going to happen. I think a lot of us are very confident, but hey, we're you know, we're down to be surprised. Who knows exactly what's going to happen? But a lot of people also, like myself, these were kind of some of my thoughts that I had, right? So a couple thoughts, right? So USDC, I mean, will they come here? Maybe, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like Richard Hart is outside of the club. USDC is like inner circle of the club. Hex has always just been left outside. I don't, you know, it just kind of seems like that trend would continue. But I mean, who knows, right? If they came over, great. There's nothing wrong with that. But even if they did, they still have admin keys. So I guess that is kind of wrong with it. It's not optimal, right? We'll just say it's not optimal. Still has third-party risk. USDT might actually come over. They can kind of do whatever. They're just kind of the stablecoin, you know, I don't even know what they are. So, but anyways, but who wants USDT anyways? I think everybody kind of is just sketched out by them. Also admin keys. I really don't think that would be part of Richard Hart's primary plan. Who knows? And then it just says DAI coming over is very interesting. I'm saying this, right? It actually could happen. I mean, DAI has no admin keys, and we also know the SAC wallet is the biggest holder. So moving it all over, creating some sort of separate interface that's just like DAI to DAI. Maybe it's quicker than the regular bridge. Like, I don't know exactly how that would work, but that's a possibility, right? But I also say this, and this is super important that I think people need to remember, and we always got to go back to this, like the foundational stuff from when we found this theory is the Maker DAO vote. However, we also know that Maker votes have already been cast to make the P stables more favorable. If that is the case, why isn't regular DAI here already? Why was the Maker vote cast to change the P stables rather than make eDAI native, like the ETH DAI? So again, I don't know, right? Like, it's just super duper interesting. Your guess is as good as mine. I think we've done enough research to, you know, have some really good legs that this is P-Dye. But in the meantime, I'm going to show a sick video from the homie, Vinny Wynn, because Vinny's awesome. First of all, this video is lit. I'll give a shout out to Vinny in a sec.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, they got go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up. Fuck out of bed, bitch, go.
Anyways, excellent meme, super hyped, get me going every time. But anyway, shout out to Vinny, man, been around helping in the chat since day one, and he is a legit freaking fighter and like warrior, grinder, like someone you want on your team for sure. So shout out to Vinny, keep up the good work, my man. But anyways, and then of course, right, so these were my thoughts, right? And so, but of course, like I said, you had all the haters, oh, like P-Dye's dead, and like, then this came out, which is like, oh, hey, P-Dye bros, guess it's time to pack it up. And then of course, it's a Hex Maxi, of course. And of course, and so I guess it could be HOA Maxi. Just, anyways, I don't want to get into it, whatever, not with them, so not with anybody. I try to all be friends with anybody these days, but he did hide these messages. He hid some P-Dye messages. So again, why? Nobody really knows. And yeah, you can go back here. By the way, if you don't know how to check hidden messages, you can go over here and you just click this little button, and here you go. You can see what messages he hid. And so yeah, a lot of them do contain P-Dye. And I mean, I thought about it though, and it's just like, again, I don't know. That's a really weak way to say that P-Dye is not involved. You don't want P-Dye. Don't buy P-Dye. I mean, maybe. you would think that if it's a scam, you shouldn't be involved. He's kind of aggressive towards saying, what scams are. So again, to me, like that's not saying like it's a scam and it's not involved, right? It could mean something else. It could mean that he doesn't want people to see it or think it, or who knows, right? But I mean, who knows? A ton of other people posted it on here anyways, and he didn't even get rid of it. So I guess who knows? Who knows exactly what it is? But again, I just got to show you guys that. Again, until he says something directly, like if he ever does, I mean, I think that's really going to be the only way that people are going to be convinced either way, whether it's like good or bad. I think something like definitive needs to happen, not these like, because that's what we did. We just went and found a bunch of weird stuff that happened that like wasn't direct, and it points to crazy stuff happening with PDI just as much as that. Like he pointed to, which is like not ideal, but at the same time, it doesn't mean like, oh, you got to go sell. And anyways, it doesn't matter because look at these charts. Look at these charts. That's right. Yes, absolute rippage today, up 40%. We did good, fam. Awesome stuff. And yeah, everybody, it just ripped. Everybody, kind of, I think more people are just kind of starting to get up to speed on what is going on, and it's super duper exciting. And I'm excited to see what the future holds for PDI and Atropa and everybody on PulseChain. Like for real, this is one of those things that's all boats are going to rise. And there's so many cool projects over here. Like people just need to stop beefing and like love what they're in and quit hating on what like other projects are. Like for real, like everything is good over here. We're all going to eat, right? But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say on it, guys. I hope you guys like the PulseChain dark web. And then, so I'm going to make this video. I'm going to go clip it's a Twitter Spaces. So I'm just going to clip it here at the end of this video. Hope you guys like it. And again, it's just surfaces. He's one of the IRC chat log guys, NBA dev, and he has some really interesting ideas on what PulseChain is going to be, or what the Atropa ecosystem is going to be. So I guess I'll kind of wrap it up for you, but I would listen to it. Essentially what he thinks it's going to be is it's going to be a secondary messaging privacy layer that's what he thinks it's going to be, right? And again, where I come in with my weird conspiracy tinfoil hat, and it's like, is this the privacy wallet that they were talking about? And actually, it's really interesting too. If you go look on I wish I had it pulled up right now. It's going to take me too long to pull up. But if you go look on PulseX, if you look at some of these Atropa pairs, like the liquidity pools and the volume and stuff, it's just not, I don't know, you can't see everything. There's something weird with those darn tokens. I don't know what the heck it is, but there's some weird stuff with them. And anyways, he's in there, he kind of understands codes, and Maria speaks in code. She'll say stuff like, we're going to make this Hawk2 deployer code thing. And like, that's why I'm not in that chat. I don't know what the heck that means. He's a dev, and he's kind of putting the pieces together. He kind of understands her language, so he kind of tells people how to understand it. So this is, in my opinion, the most valuable Atropa alpha I have gotten to date. I really, really think that there's some legs to this theory. Who knows? Again, it's all just theory at this point, but actually it's like out of Maria's mouth. She's saying that she is, basically it's out of Maria's mouth that she is going to, that's what it is. It's a secondary messaging privacy layer, and we'll let Surfaces explain it all about it. So anyways, much love, y'all. Have an amazing day, and thank you for watching Hodlnomics at the PulseChain Dark Web. Adios.
But yeah, I do want to welcome up to the stage Surfacing, aka NBA. What's going on, bud?
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes. Perfect. Awesome. So the whole handshake or dysnomia or whatever you want to call it, it's kind of interesting. I pretty much I understand where she is or he's getting at with it. And I get not the full technology behind it, but the whole premise of it. So when you do a handshake and you have a connection from one device to another device, you need to make sure that connection is secured. And so you can, send sensitive information across it. Well, the was it like a blockchain E and blockchain, or like a recursive kind of handshake or connection thing? Essentially, what that is that like, so you know how like on a blockchain it's like sit on a block and then they're all chained out and then it's there forever type of stuff. It like validates the order of everything, it kind of gets made kind of thing. Essentially, she wants to make a connection that is like that, and then like you said, it like eats itself, so it doesn't necessarily like store to anything, but the end. So like, let's say we have two devices and we trade on those two devices. Those two devices could then like validate that that trade actually happened, and then one of the devices, when it connects to the main blockchain, can then add that to the next block. But the two connections that are like there, they can work together and they can do that transaction without necessarily being connected to the entire system. Does that kind of make sense?
A little
Yes,
bit.
kind of, sort of. So basically, so it's like a messaging layer essentially, where these two can communicate, independently of the blockchain, and then at some point there's a whole. So maybe it could be a whole network that's communicating independently, kind of doing their own, kind of like ZK rollups. I think that's kind of how they do. And then
Right,
there's like
right.
batch transfers.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that how? Okay.
Essentially something like
So
that.
that's what Maria's trying to do.
Yeah, that's why I think at one point it was called like a layer zero, because that's what that is. It's a communication layer. But yeah, it's essentially like they're trying to do it so that, yeah, it's just like short and multiple connections at the same time, because it's like P2P. Do you remember back in the day when you had like file sharing services and you do like P2P kind of sharing? It's like that, but like within blocks type of thing. And so essentially, like now it's like, well, what can we use that for? I don't really know.
So is Maria's really making a game, like a like as I'm thinking of it, like a video game?
Um,
Is,
I think more so she has an affinity for game theory and trying to control other people through gaming mechanics is more along the line of what that would be.
gotcha. Because I know she's made mentions of like monster forms and how BFF, you know, you know, is a life form, or I don't know. It's very confusing, and there's a lot of the stuff that like just different look like countries and words that she's using that don't make sense in the string of ways that she says them. Are you able to interpret any of that stuff?
The only like the background, so the information I can interpret via that is that the background knowledge I know of the person is that they have a lot of degrees in linguistics and like especially German linguistics and like stuff like that. So she has a lot of knowledge in like ancient languages, and so I take that with like a grain of salt whenever, or that and like history itself. So a lot of things that she'll be like alluding to are like historical figures, and they kind of like have a resemblance of what they're talking about in the sentence that she's saying, I guess. And you just kind of have to connect the dots. It's like a way of critical thinking and not just like a mundane way of like thinking like we would do on like a normal basis, if that kind of makes sense.
Right. So like not to take it at face value. So if she says like Denmark is located in Portland, Oregon, or whatever, like
Right.
don't like read it as face value, basically.
Correct. Like you'll have to like find a Portland of Denmark and think of that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's going to take me a while for sure, but I mean, I'm just so glad that we have that IRC to read. I posted it up in the nest here for anybody that wants to kind of like go ahead and like read through it and just kind of keep tabs on what's going on. Because like yeah, like a week or two ago, she told everybody to buy BFF, and then it just started this whole big frenzy. But I think she does try to talk about what to do with certain tokens and things like this, and she tries to keep people active and watching. I think she wants people to be watching and like learning and listening. You think I'm correct on that?
Yeah, totally. Like she does, and she tries. Well, she tries to encourage an environment that is on a higher level. like I said, kind of like that critical thinking kind of talk or whatever, where like some of it doesn't really make sense, but it encourages you to think outside of your normal thought process, which is a good thing for everybody, I guess.
Lots of YouTube links to very specific things.
And random ones too, like just I don't know. How do you have that many links at your availability? I don't know.
Do you think that she may be like collecting our IPs by using those links?
Oh, I mean, if you use the IRC, like the IRC stores all your IPs regardless. Like you can see everybody's IP in there when you click on their names.
Right. But I just don't know what the purpose of the YouTube videos are. I guess because I watch a lot of them and I just try to make connections to what's going on, and usually there's none. In my eyes, I guess. I don't know.
A lot of times
I
there's
think
like
that's their attempt at socializing.
right, like there's that too. Yeah, totally. And then there's some that have like little hidden meetings in there, like topics that we were discussing, or like answers to like what she's talking about in some ways, or just some random weird shit.
Some of the titles are relevant once in a while to what's being talked about.
Right.
Yeah, I have noticed that sometimes for sure, but there's a lot of randomness associated as well.
A lot of it could be to like change the topic too.
Oh, okay, yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, I noticed a lot in the mornings she posts like some music just to kind of like get the vibe going.
They posted
Dang,
a
so it's like
ton
a full
early
blown
on.
chat room up in there. It's like a whole ass community.
Yeah, they posted a ton early on of videos, just to relate to the coins and stuff too. I remember that about the very beginning. I don't remember it distinctly, but I remember finding all this stuff that I knew about and I liked, and I was like, huh.
You know, she's got like a YouTube playlist. She like collects all the videos she posts. I think they're all.
Yeah, that okay.
And I think I've noticed that she posted one of our like the YouTube live streams or something that we did. She posted one of those that we did about Atropa in the playlist.
So, what do you think the chances that this person like knows Richard Hart are, or like what do you think the connection level is? Like how far, how many connection layers are we talking?
I'm thinking on like first name, have each other's telephone numbers stored in their phone type of connection.
Whoa. Oh, okay. All right.
I told you.
That's hey, I mean, not surprising though. I mean, this person OG day one hex giga whale. People forget about that. It's like, it's gotta be somebody close. Has a lot of other crypto stuff. I feel like they've been chatting about like at least been like knowing what's going on. They're probably like old homies from like early crypto days. And they're just like, yeah, let's just play around with these dudes, like all these noobs.
Fellow
Exactly.
geniuses too, man. High level thinkers, both of them.
Yeah, I'm sure they've consulted
Yeah.
with each other.
It seems like they're the type of people who would gravitate towards each other for sure, if they are separate people at all.